Hip-hop has often come under fire for its controversial language and bold subject matter. Expert opinion is divided over whether hip-hop culture is a force for good.
I think we've been programmed to look at rap in a particular way, to look at the purveyors of rap in a particular way, and generally that perception denigrates the artist and the music. If you're predominantly in the black community, you're more likely to understand the individuals and where they're coming from, their cultural experience, the community in which they exist, and you step outside of that community and you find that people take the same profanity very differently. And for a lot of these artists, they're speaking from the heart. It's how they speak normally. They're speaking to their crew, their community, which is quite small, and they connect in that way.
Don't shoot.
Never in the history of man has a group of people talked so negatively about its own children. So if you're at home now thinking, oh, this guy's wrong about hip hop, it's all fun and games, listen to the lyrics, write them on a piece of paper and see how you would feel if somebody else wrote that about your children. Because what happens is people listen to hip hop and they take it as an advert from that community. If we say those things about ourselves, well, why shouldn't they believe it? When you read them and you write them down, you think, hold up for a minute, you're saying to someone, if you come here, I'm gonna push your wig back. The technical term of push your wig back means I'm gonna kill you. I will kill for my colors. I mean, if Westlife was singing those kind of things, condemnation, their record company would have to get rid of them. It almost feels like because a black man is saying it, people either don't mind, don't care, or are afraid to get involved in stopping it.
Hip-hop, as a culture, there are 4 pillars of hip-hop. The breakdancing, the DJing, the MCing and the graffiti art is the greatest cultural genre that the 20th century ever saw. Hip-hop culture represents the reality of the people who present it, and they don't try and sugarcoat that. There are rappers who are misogynists because they've grown up in that environment. I'm not saying it's right. So it's difficult for us to just suddenly expect them all to be kind of liberal and open-minded and feminists. And if you think about Chris Brown's Loyal, is probably one of the most misogynistic tracks you're going to hear. But I love to dance to that song. It doesn't make me a misogynist. You know, these girls ain't loyal. But then I've been out with girls who are not loyal to me.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
As artists, we do need to take a responsibility for the things that we say. I feel that music is a powerful tool for using and moving young minds. So we have to take that responsibility as role models, whether we want to take it on board or not. A lot of what we're being fed is quite negative, so I do think it will have an impact, and I think it does have an impact. Artists who say, well, I'm just reflecting my reality, I'm not actually dealing with their reality. So I do think we have to stand up and take responsibility for the things that we say, but I also think that I'm allowed to say whatever I like.
I can say what I want to say, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it.
Hip-hop has often defended itself in the past by saying people don't listen to Snoop Dogg or Tez Kid and run out and commit a crime. Of course they don't, but what they do, it sets the bar for what is acceptable. So if you come from road, as it were, you know, it's part of the tapestry. If somebody does something, do you mess them up? It's what's said all the time. It has an effect. It's the biggest platform that black people worldwide have to advertise themselves, and look what's being said.